All right, everybody, we are going into the finals for the CFU Diamond Tournament, or with the second one that we've ever hosted. And we do know Deadlinks versus Joshua will be a Shadow Paladin mirror match as we watch from Deadlink's point of view in game one. This is actually not at all what I expected. For the finals, I did not expect a Shadow Paladin mirror. I didn't even think Shadows were going to be in the finals. So it's nice to see a little bit more diversity than just MLB and Gote. And we do see a battle here of two different starters being used. We showcased both of these players earlier on in the tournament. Joshua last round and Deadlinks, I believe, in round 3. And we see Deadlinks uses Creeping Dark Goat as his starter. Joshua uses Full Bow. So far right now, here in game one, it looks like Deadlinks is going to get a little bit more versatility with the starter, thanks to the fact that Joshua didn't get the Javelin right, so he didn't get to Search Blast or Dark with it. So we're going to move on to Joshua's turn here, as he's going to ride up to grade 2, and the grade 2 ride being Cursed Lancer, since he wasn't able to get the Blast of Dark off Javelin. Going ahead and use the Nemain's effect, Counter Blast 1, discard a card, draw 2, and that's going to give him the Counter Blast that he can counter charge with Cursed Lancer. And we're going to go ahead and see the main attack for 7k. As he likes this grade 1 here, it's on place. Give one of your other units 2. And we saw him use it just now in the main to be able to hit the Vanguard. And now he's going to use Cursed Lancer, swing it, it's going to hit as well, and it's going to go ahead and counter charge 1. Deadlinks here has a Nightmare Painter and a Nemain in damage. And during last match, we were watching Joshua face our current, our last week's champion. We saw Joshua facing Zay, and we were actually comparing Joshua's deck list to Deadlinks. So it's fun to watch the two of them face each other now to see how they do in the mirror. And as Deadlinks' little title says down at the bottom, this game is all luck. There's skill. There's definitely a lot of skill to it, but there's a lot of luck in Cardfight Vanguard, and that's just the game for you. Like if you don't like it, you just don't play Vanguard. Every format is like that. Premium is a little less luck; it's a little more skill based, but it still has a lot of luck to it, especially in comparison to other TCGs.
You hope that your opponent was unlucky.
I mean, like 6 months ago, it was you hope your opponent doesn't open the Wonder Ezel.
Don't be hating on me.
You hope your opponent doesn't open the Wonder Ezel, or you hope that they brick on the Bowmain. You know, like that's what you had to hope for.
I ran that deck 8 grade 2s, and I still beat you most of the time, and hardly ever will.
I mean, this is fact. This is fact.
Ezel loves me.
Yes, Ezel loved Shiny, and Katrina loves me. And Katrina was a terrible deck for the meta. Like it was really good, but it was terrible for the meta. It was way too brain dead, in my opinion. But I played it because it won games. So
except against me.
Yeah.
But that's what teammates are for.
Yeah, that's what teammates are for.
I love you.
So we have right now Joshua pulling on a full rush. Halfway expecting him to use Phantom Blaster still here. Yeah, there he goes. Especially considering he had a copy of Phantom Blaster in the back row. He's going to go ahead and use it and gain the crit so that he can swing 2 crits on Deadlink's Vanguard on the first grade 3 turn. And that will hit for 2 damage right here. So he's going to go ahead and push Deadlink up to 4 before he even hits grade 3. Alright, and I think that's going to end the battle phase as the connection stabilizes itself. We're going to go into, there we go, Deadlink's turn. He's going to go ahead and forgo a ride. He's going to, or not forgo a ride, he's going to ride PBO, call Nightmare Painter, and use skill to put the PvP in Soul. So he's going to go ahead and get the cross ride power first grade 3 turn. And we saw this play used 2 rounds ago, I believe. also by Deadlinks. And it's a very good strat in my opinion. I'm a bigger fan of PDO than I am of PvD anyway. So it's really nice to just go ahead and ride that Phantom Blaster Overlord, use Nightmare Pain, and shove the PvD in full so you don't have a turn on PvD that you may or may not use the effect of. He's going to go ahead and swing the Vanguard on the rear guard. That's going to hit. He's going to go ahead and let's see if he swings another attack on the Vanguard. If he's going to get, there he goes. He's going to swing the 12k attacker. The defensive trigger is going to mitigate the other rear guard attack, meaning that Joshua is going to have one counter blast for next turn. So he's not going to be able to use the Vanguard's effect. The Vanguard's counter blast 2 effect, that is. However, if he has a Nemain in hand, which he's calling now, he will be able to use that counter blast on the Nemain. Alright, and he's going to go ahead and call 2 more units back to the board. So we see that both of these players are playing fairly aggressively when it comes to hand. Calling very, very many cards in their hand and keeping their own hands decently low. We're going to see both players now have the cross ride off. You see a whiff on the heel trigger here. But both players have the cross ride off. Neither of them using the Persona Blast skill of PDO so far. At the moment, we do see the Deadlinks doesn't have the copy of the Vanguard in hand to be able to use that effect. But he does have a Sentinel in hand for the next turn, although it may not be enough depending on what he draws off the Nemain. Two more Sentinels.
Well, I guess that answers our question.
That's actually going to kind of hurt a little bit, as now he has nothing to put in front of that Sharon.
But Sharon can swing at Nemain.
Well, Nemain can also swing at Nemain.
Nemain can also swing at Nemain.
He's going to go ahead and counterblast 2, pop the Sharon to get rid of the Interceptor so that now he can go ahead and swing the Vanguard at the Vanguard. There goes Nemain at Nemain, and there's going to be the Vanguard at the Vanguard attack. He's going to hit the draw trigger, and there's going to be another Nemain. He's going to have to either heal or draw into a Curse Lancer to be able to use that Nemain, however. And we're going to see another draw trigger on the defensive end. This is literally a mirror match right now. We are noticing a few differences in decks, such as I don't know that Joshua runs Nightmare Painter. And we also notice that both players have a different heal trigger, as Joshua runs Batib Car as his heal trigger, and Deadlinks uses Phantom Blaster Dragon as his heal trigger, as you can see here.
Personal preference.
That is a matter of personal preference, yes. As long as, in my opinion, as long as PDO isn't your heal trigger, it's not bad.
I can just see everybody in the Discord now that Hashtag setting PDO as their heal trigger.
Hashtag Trigger Kingslayer right here.
Ooh, can I start that?
Yes, and then I'm going to start Hashtag Trigger Shiny by calling all your Sentinels to rear guard.
I will make...
To be fair, it did just win Joshua last round against the OTT matchup.
He was against Tom.
Yeah, the OTT matchup.
I still didn't like it. I understand why. Don't get me wrong. I understand why. I have never personally been in the situation where I have to call a Sentinel to win game.
I've had a situation where I called 2 Sentinels to win a game.
Yes, I know.
To the same
and then
column.
You tattled.
Yeah, I did tell on myself for that, but I won the game off of it. It guaranteed to win.
Listen, I understand that, but still, it's a pet peeve of mine. I understand in the very, very rare.
We're seeing double draw trigger right here. And that's actually kind of not as great as it could have been, as he drew into a heal trigger off of it. The Nemain, because it's a 5k, is not going to be able to hit the Vanguard, even with 2 triggers. So he's going to go ahead and swing it on the Batib Car. Poor Nemain. Oh.
And yet, when she was announced in 0, all of CFU cheered because she was a 5k.
Yes. Instead of a 3k, she was a 5k. Still unable to hit the Vanguard, even with 2 triggers. So, we're going to watch Joshua's next turn here and see if he can try and push for game. As he doesn't know here that Dead Links has 2 Sentinels in hand. He's gonna go ahead and sack off Dead Link's domain here. So this is actually a really good time to go ahead and try and push. As 3 attacks requires 3 Sentinels to be used. So. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and call a column of grade 1s. Calls the MacLear. And that calling the MacLear may end up winning him this game due to the fact that now he has 3 attacks coming at the Vanguard.
Gentlemen.
Alright, and let's see.
I'm sorry to assume, but
Dead Links here does have 2 heal triggers in closed knowledge, however, 1 is in hand. So that's actually gonna guarantee game because he doesn't have 2 heals left in deck. So Joshua going for the smart play of swinging the 2 rear guards first and swinging the Vanguard for the 2 crit attack to ensure that he can get game there. And Joshua's gonna take game 1 thanks to calling the MacLear.
I know you're deliberately doing that just to rub it in my face.
No, Joshua did it to rub it in your face. I just spectated and commentated along for the ride. Now we will watch from Joshua's point of view, and I will hope that Shiny doesn't beat me up while we commentate.
I'm glad they can't see me, because I feel like I have steam coming out of my ears.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Does she have steam coming out of her ears?
Why? Do you know what this does to me? I'm distraught.
She's very upset, guys. Alright, so the mulligan is not going to give Joshua the Blaster Javelin. He's going to whiff, more than likely, 2 games in a row on the full bow. Oh, and there you go. He's going to have to ride the MacLear.
Well, that's 1 less he can call.
Alright, so we have seen Joshua did win game 1. So we are spectating Joshua now. If Joshua wins this game, we will have a solidified finals and Joshua will win the entire event. However, if Dead Links wins this game, we will be moving on to a game 3. This is, for those of you who have been sort of keeping up with the server, for those of you who haven't been keeping up with the server, this is the final weekend tournament that we at CFU will be hosting. That will be best of 3 via single deck. Starting tomorrow with tomorrow's Platinum Tourney, we will be moving to a Conquest format, which is very similar to best of 3, but it's more like 2 deck.
It's 2 deck with a best of 3 aspect.
Yes, which 2 deck is a best of 3 format as is. So the way it's going to work is both competitors, every competitor enters the tournament with 3 decks instead of 1. And in every matchup, they have to tell their opponent the 3 clans they're playing. Each competitor gets to ban one of the other players' decks from that match. And then they proceed with 2 deck with the remaining 2 decks that weren't banned after that. And it will move on to, basically the way 2 deck works is you have to win with both of your decks to move on. So it's a best of 3, essentially. So that's what we'll be doing starting in tomorrow's Platinum Tourney. However, again, if the community hosts tournaments, they can choose the format. They do not have to host in Conquest. They can choose best of 3, best of 1, 2 deck. Conquest, if they choose to, we just ask that they find a way to incorporate it into our ranking system, and they are subject to admin approval. So if they seem biased or if they seem just unfit for a competitive format, it may get rejected. So just make sure it's fair and valid. And we want to see you guys hosting tournaments because we want to see you guys having more opportunities to earn extra gacha packs.
May we just appreciate the full bow swinging on the domain?
The full bow on the domain was actually kind of nice. It takes me back to the whole make a plant token and swing it at your domain. more standard stuff I'm going with. Make a plant. It's funny when your opponent rides the main in standard because she's also a 5K, but she's a grade 1 in standard. So
The Shadow Paladin Lewis set that they got earlier this year, the majority of their grade 1 lineup was a 5K.
But especially in the main. So if your opponent rogued in the main and you're playing Neo Nectar, you can just swarm the board. You just swarm the board with plant tokens.
You remember
I promise Shadow Paladin players absolutely love it when you swing plant tokens at their 5K in the main on Vanguard. It's great. They love it. I mean, yeah, it gives you a counter blast. I'll give you that. And we're going to see a heal trigger here by Joshua. So Joshua is actually going to keep himself at a kind of safe pace at the moment for that heal trigger. And we're going to see PBO attack. He's going to use the Persona Blast skill so that he can hit that magic 21 number and swing for an extra crit. And what that's actually going to do is that's going to bait the Sentinel out of Joshua's hand here. So at this point, we see the damage sitting at 3-2. Joshua did get the Phantom Blaster Overlord to hand, so he's going to be able to ride it. And now we have cross-ride power on Joshua's side of the board.
Yahoo!
And we do know that Dead Links uses Nightmare Painter, so unfortunately he's not being able to draw either Nightmare Painter or the PBD to be able to pull off his own Persona Blast at the moment. Or his own cross-ride at the moment. This is 12K attack on the Vanguard. And
which is also 2 interceptors, which is nice when you don't have a Sentinel.
He has 2 interceptors on the board now that the Macula's been baited out of his hand. He's debating which unit to attack with next. Going to go ahead and attack with the rear guard. 17 on 16. We're not going to see a defensive. So now he is able to attack with the PBO and Persona Blast to get that extra crit and either bait out the Sentinel or solidify the match if Dead Links doesn't have the Sentinel. I really don't see anything else.
I don't either. It's a win-win. You bait out the Sentinel.
And there it goes. There it goes. He's gonna push for it. So now the question is, does Dead Links have the Sentinel? Will it be baited out? Or there's the Sentinel. Okay. So we have now seen 2 Sentinels in open knowledge on each side of the board. As we can see, Dead Links 1 in damage, 1 in drop. And for Joshua here, we have 1 in soul, 1 in drop. So each player has actually effectively used 1 Sentinel, but there are 2 in open knowledge per player. And we are back to Dead Link's turn, sitting in main phase. I think he's debating what he wants to do for this turn.
It is a very precarious situation.
Yes, he is definitely in an awkward situation because he does not have any interceptors on the board. He's going to use Phantom Blaster Overlord skill, pop off the Creeping Dart Goat, and get rid of an interceptor. And he's not going to call an interceptor in place. He's going to call a Phantom Blaster Dragon. So that tells me he probably didn't have the Nightmare Painter to be able to get the cross ride off. Bat of Car is going to go ahead and swing 9 on the 9 for an interceptor. Now he's going to go ahead and swing the rear guard attack, 17 on 13. No defensive trigger, and now both players are sitting at 4. So we have the Phantom Blaster Overlord attacking. He's thinking he may actually have it. Yes, he has the Persona Blast again, 2 turns in a row. So now, as we can see Joshua's hand here, he's going to have to heal out in order to win this game. There it is. So there's the miracle heal on the 6th damage. And now the turn's going to pass back to Joshua, and we'll see if he can close the game here, as Dead Links has no interceptors. He's going to call the PBD and the Blaster Javelin. Again, Dead Links has no interceptors. He can just push right here. He's going to hit the heal. That's probably going to go to the PBD column in order to ensure that it can hit the 21 if Deadlinks hits the defensive. And there it is. So, and there's another heal, and that's also going to go off. He's going to double heal here on this drive check. So now the full power is a 10K. It can swing on either of the rear guards. But we do have the PBO column, 21 on 16. It's going to be swinging for lethal. And there's no heal. So we're going to see Joshua get the 2-0 in the finals over Deadlinks. And congratulations, Joshua. You are our CFU Diamond Tournament winner. You would take your diamond rank. And soon I will be submitting the results to Bushy Road. And you will be receiving 10 gacha packs from Bushy Road in your gift box. More than likely within the next week or two. I know it usually takes them about a week to submit it to your gift box. So you should be getting it pretty soon. Probably right after the new season starts. So congratulations and thank you to everyone who chose to compete in this event. This is King Slayer signing out. Shiny, is there anything you would like to say?
Thank you for not calling a Sentinel that last game. Thank you, please. Thank you. Also, bye guys. Love you.